Hello everyone, welcome back to another video with me, Flying Flynn, or Mark as you'll get to know me as. So, slightly different video today, not doing a full flight, but we are still in the PMDG 777. So I thought we would do a cold and dark tutorial. So this is going to cover, as the name would suggest, going from completely cold and dark. I've just smacked my chair into my throttle. Going from completely cold and dark to ready for taxi. So we will do the aeroplane pre-flight cockpit prep, FMC setup, getting the aeroplane started up and pushed back from the gate, and then we will stop at ready for taxi. I'll probably do more of these videos as time goes on, but I thought this was a good one to start with for people who maybe are new to the 777 now that it's in MSFS, or people that are just curious. So a disclaimer, I'm not an expert by any means. This is just what I've picked up over the years. So I first started flying the 777 back in prepared. Actually, I think probably even FSX. So this is just what I've picked up myself and from watching other people's videos. So yeah, just bear that in mind. I'm not saying this is the correct and perfect way to do it, but this is the kind of thing that I wish I had when I started out. So we're on the ground here at San Francisco. We are at gate G2, I believe, which is where the real United 777s park. And we're going to set up for a quick flight down to LAX. So let's hop on board and get cracking. So let's jump in the cockpit. So as you can see, completely cold and dark, absolutely nothing running. Chances are in the real world the pilots aren't going to get the plane like this, especially with long haul aircraft. So the 777 specifically spends something like 20 hours out of every 24 hours in the air. So the chances are, sorry, I just had to take a drink. Chances are, you know, pilots, obviously due to the time and the turnaround, and they want the aeroplanes to be in the air as much as possible, you're not going to get it like this. You know, chances are engineers will have come out and done, you know, if the plane had to be shut down for whatever reason, engineering would have already come out and done all the basics to get the aircraft to a state, probably, you know, on ground power and powered up, and then the pilots would do everything specific to their particular sector. But nonetheless, we'll imagine that for whatever reason we've had to come on and power it up from cold and dark. So we'll do a few things to begin with before we get power to the aircraft, you know, mainly for safety before we add any power to the aircraft. So we are going to check a few things. So we're going to make sure that the parking brake is set, which it wasn't, but it is now. Landing gear lever is down, which it is. The throttles are at idle, which they are. Fuel control switches are cut off. Flap lever is up. Speed brake lever is down or up, depending on whichever way you look at it. The windscreen wipers are off, just so we don't scratch the windscreen. And that all looks good. So we will turn on the battery like so. So that's all good. And then I am going to go in the tablet and let's just go to the tablet view, and we will do ground connections, and we'll regress to ground power because we're going to be here a while, so I don't want to run off the APU. The Brake pressure indicator, if I just zoom in, has come alive. So we can tell that the parking brake is functional because the needle's got some pressure. Obviously we can't see it on the iCAS yet because there's no power. So what we'll do is we will do primary and secondary external power. And now you can hear the aircraft start to come to life. One thing to note, if you're used to flying, say, the 777, sorry, if you're used to flying the 737 and maybe, you know, the A320 or something like that, that the screens in the 777 take quite a while to power up, and obviously that's been simulated as part of PMDG's rendition of the aircraft. So it'll take a while for these main screens to come up. FMC has come up straight away, which is handy. So we will. The nav light is already on, so that's fine. Cool. So what I'll do is let's go overhead. So we want to arm the emergency exit lights, turn on the cockpit voice recorder so it records any briefings that we might have. The seatbelt sign can stay off currently because we haven't finished fueling. And turn on the Addons so that can start aligning. And we'll turn on the in-flight entertainment and the galley power. We spin down. Nope, screens aren't on yet. That's fine. Cool. So obviously, you know, lights are as required depending on, you know, depending on the condition. So I can turn them up a little bit. Cool. Not going to do hydraulics yet because we're obviously not going to move. Window heats can come on. Fuel pumps stay off. Electric pumps, as I say, can stay off. As you can see, screens are starting to come up. So we'll let them do their thing. And we'll start programming the route just so that we can get some fuel on board. So if I just go to the tablet and we'll load in our imaginary route from San Francisco down to LAX. So that's now loaded in. So if we now go back to the FMC view, we can go FMC, clear that. We are 777-300 with the GE90s. The nav data is correct. POS init, we are at KSFO and we are at G2, which isn't in there, of course it's not. Okay, so we'll put the GPS position in there so the aircraft knows where it is. Route, we will do a route request, sim brief, set the payload, set the fuel, and then select the route, like so. So requesting route. Wait for that to load. There we go, and it's also telling me that it's loaded the perf data and all the winds, which is good, so we'll just clear those for now and we'll load the route. Wait for that to load in. And there we go. So I'm not going to activate it just yet, and this is just a personal preference of mine. I'm not saying you have to do it like this, but I like to enter my SID before I activate the route. So rather than hitting activate, I'm going to hit departure and arrival, and we are departing 28 right. No, we're not, because 28 right is closed. So it says they're departing 1 right. Okay. So that's going to probably completely mess up my route, because and now it won't let me pick something else. Oh yeah, 1 right. Yeah, that's annoying. Okay, well, in real life, we wouldn't use 28 right because it's closed, but for the simplicity of the flight plan I have in front of me, we are going to use it. So 28 right. We're Westler 5, Susie. Back to the route. Activate. Execute. You can see we've now got the magenta line on the ND showing the route. So we'll do perf init. Click the 0 fuel weight, put it in the scratch pad, put that in there, and we'll accept the data. Gives us a gross weight of 220 tons, reserves 5.6, 350 for the cruise, cost index of 59. We now need to do some thrust, some takeoff performance. So we'll go back to the tablet, performance tool, 28 right, even though it's shut. Import from the aircraft, import the weather. Flaps 5, takeoff 2, select temp 45. So select temp 45, takeoff, takeoff 2, select temp 45, and it was flap 5. Put the CG in there, so that gives us 145, 149, 156. So we'll accept them, and 156 in there. Cool. So that's the FMC. We will set QNH. I'll cheat by just pressing B. Transponder is set. Fuel is loaded, payload is loaded. So now that the fuel is in, seatbelt signs can come on. Takeoff data is set. Resec is all set. MCP, so no restrictions. So we'll put that straight up to cruise 350, and the runway heading for 28 right, if we were going via the flight plan, which I know obviously we wouldn't, is 284. So we'll put that in the window. God, I miss the other PMDG mouse thing. This is naff having to do this. 284 in there. Flight director's on. So MCP is set. Cool. So let's go back overhead. All the pumps can come on. Do we have fuel in the center tank? No, we don't. So we don't need the center pumps. So that's fine. So fuel pumps are on. So what we'll do now is we will prepare for departure with GSX. Let's hope it works. I really hope it works. Oh, it looks to be working. The jetway's moving and the door closed. So APU can go to start.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
And we want to go nose right, tail left. Clear to pressurize hydraulics.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
Hydraulics are on. So the demand pumps go to auto and the electric pumps go to on. Those left and right will still have a fault because obviously the engines aren't running. And beacon can come on to let the ground crew know we're about to move.
Locking gear.
So we know the APU bleed has come on because the external power has gone to avail. So we can yeah, and we can get rid of the ground, get rid of all the ground connections like so. Let's reset my view and
Commencing push.
brakes released.
All engines clear. Start at will.
Auto brake RTO, and we're away. So I'm just going to wait until we get past these red markers. Like so. So we will start number 2. So the engine start switches are up here. So we'll move number 2 to start. Fuel can come in. So I've just realised I should really have gone through this. So oxygen was tested, flight instruments we've done. I'm going to override the parking brake because we know we did that and the switches were off. Before start, flight deck door, we did the MCP, takeoff speeds were in, CDU is done. I didn't do the trim. See, that's why you have checklists. 4.75. Which is there. So trim is set, takeoff and taxi and takeoff briefing complete. So the next one is before taxi, which is fine. So we'll start number 1. So the same thing. Flick the start switch to start, and fuel can come on. GSX is doing a good job. Which is rare. I'm also going to arm LNAV and VNAV. Grab a screenshot of that. Confirm. 2 good starts. Where's GSX taking me? Is it walking me to the runway, or?
Please set parking brakes.
Oh, there we go. Ah, they pulled me up to the line. Very cool. Right. Feet on the toe brakes.
Waiting your confirmation for a good engine start.
So let's tell GSX.
Cockpit
All good.
ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
So engine starts all good. APU off. So we've got APU cooldown, parking brakes set, auto brake RTO.
Unlocking gear.
GSX doing its bit. And away goes the tug.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed. Left is clear. Right is clear.
And here's the man that should show me the pin. Blimey, put my glasses on to see that. There he is. Cool, right. Before taxi checklist, anti-ice, not required. Recall, checked. Auto brake, RTO, flight controls. Checked. Ground equipment, clear. So we will go strobes on, taxi light on, and we will have, I can switch to us. Is there a slightly better view? There we go. and we will have flap 5. Flaps in motion. This should automatically complete the checklist. Flap 5 checked. And that's the end of the checklist. So my bad. Brakes released. And we're off. So there you have it. That's the PMDG 777-300ER from cold and dark to ready for taxi. So I'm going to leave it there, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope you find it useful. Please let me know in the comments if you do find it useful. I will be back fairly shortly with another flight. I'm probably going to do San Francisco to Denver, maybe, something like that. So watch out for that one. Please do hit subscribe if you like these videos so that you don't miss any future videos. Be sure to hit that notification bell as well. Hit the thumbs up if you like this video. It really does mean a lot, and it helps me know that the stuff I'm making is what you guys want to see. And I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye bye.